All right, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope we're doing well. And it's time for another edition of college football quarterback rankings. And I've received a couple of requests to maybe start making this segment a little more robust. And I'm working on a solution to that. Some people were saying, if you could throw in some clips, if you could throw in some plays to kind of illustrate the points you're trying to make about these players. I am going to try to put something together about that. It'll probably be a separate video. So you'll have this video and then you'll have a second video. It might not happen this week because I'm busy this week, but it's something that I am trying to work towards a solution on. I don't want to put it in this video. I want this video to remain relatively short. The purpose of this video is to just kind of let you guys know what I think more generally. And I don't want to get too far into the weeds on any one or any two players, but I am trying to put something together that can appease the more visual people, the people who actually want to see what I'm talking about. Anyway, the rankings through, we are now, 5 weeks in? My top four has not changed, and I don't know if there's a whole lot that's going to change the top four. Somebody's going to have to mess up. And I know some people are going to say, oh, Will Levis messed up. He fumbled when he could have won the game against, shoot, who was it? Ole Miss? I think it was Ole Miss. And, yeah, okay, he fumbled at the end of a close game against a really good team. The play after he threw the game-winning touchdown and had it called back because of illegal formation. I don't really understand why I'm supposed to suddenly give up on Will Levis because of that. I see a lot of negativity around Levis right now. His pocket presence is not everything you want it to be, admittedly. But his offensive line is terrible, which makes life a lot harder for him. And I still see the qualities that I want to see in a quarterback. I see the ability to read defenses. I see the ability to be good with his decision-making. I see the ability to excel without great talent around him. And more importantly than anything else, I see the incredible arm. Some of the throws he makes are just off the chain. Yes, I would have preferred he not get sacked there, lose the ball, and lose that game against Ole Miss, but I do not understand why that play is supposed to be emblematic of some crucial problem with Levis that should make me ditch him, when the reality is the play before he had won the game and it got called back. So, yeah, just leading with that, Will Levis still number one. Hendon Hooker is my number two still. He did not play, so he didn't really have a chance to do anything either way. But the scenario of taking Hooker in the second, maybe even the third round is so appealing that he's number two. He's not actually my number two quarterback, but the prospect of getting him after drafting several players on defense and the offensive line is really, really good. So he's number two. Number three, still C.J. Stroud. He didn't play that well against, I believe it was Rutgers, but you look at him and he just looks like somebody who would be really good in this Waldron offense. And at this point, I said this last week, I believe, and I'll say it again. It looks like we're going to stick with the Waldron offense for another year at least, because so far this year it's working well with substandard quarterback play. Now, no, actually, that's the wrong way of putting it. A substandard quarterback according to conventional wisdom. Not somebody like a C.J. Stroud who's going to be a top 5 pick. No, a guy who's been bouncing around the league for almost a decade. So, yeah, C.J. Stroud, number 3. K.J. Jefferson, still my number 4. He hasn't blown the doors off, and my continued issue with K.J. Jefferson is he's not going to fit this offense. But as a prospect, I still really like him and still think he'll be a good pro. And if we did decide to change up our offense going into 2023, I think K.J. Jefferson would be at the top of the list as an option. Number 5, we have a new name here. A guy has rocketed up the board because I was kind of holding back on him. I didn't want to commit to him. But the guy has played really well this year. He played really well against Wake Forest a couple weeks ago. I was impressed with what I saw against NC State. Watched most of that game actually while streaming. And it's DJU from Clemson. This is a guy who was getting hyped after his first year at Clemson. Did not really play well last year and fell off a lot of people's boards. But he's playing much better this year. His numbers are better. You watch him play, he looks better. He's making some big-time throws. He's got good size. He's using his legs. He has mobility. And I think DJU may be working his way up into that top 2 rounds, maybe a top 50 pick. And we'll see how high that goes. But I'm starting to get on the DJU train. I was very impressed with what I saw from him against NC State. So he's a guy who has a chance to really make a move here. He could definitely pass KJ Jefferson just because he'll be a better fit for a Waldron-like offense. He could pass Stroud just because Stroud's definitely going to be a top 5 pick. And DJ might be, even if he keeps playing really well, he might be a bottom of the first round pick. So DJU. 6, Anthony Richardson. He didn't do much against Eastern Washington, but that was because the game was such a blowout. He only had to throw the ball 10 times. Overall, the same strengths and the same weaknesses exist. He is a project. He is very raw. He's not ready yet. He may not be ready for a while, but the talent is immense. He's got a great arm. He's got great speed, great mobility. I think he's going to be a great pro. I'll put it that way, but it's not going to be for a while. I don't know if that's what we want. Cam Ward, I don't know if he really did anything wrong last week so much as DJ just did stuff right. I did bump Cam Ward down 1 spot because, again, he's a project. If he declares after 1 year at Wazoo, he's going to come out with a lot of warts, a lot of problems. So I'm not crazy about that strategy with where I think this team will be in 2023. Number 8, we've got Devin Leary. I bumped him up a little bit. I know it wasn't a great game, but he was playing against Clemson, and getting to watch that game with people, I really liked some of the throws he was making. I really liked the zip he was putting on the ball. He impressed me with his ability to make plays when it looked like the play was breaking down. So I know it wasn't a great game from him or anything, but his body of work this year has been quite good. So I bumped Leary up a spot, and he's going to be one of my sleepers to really watch going forward. Number 9 is Bryce Young. I bumped him down because he got hurt. And if you look at the play where he got hurt, that's kind of the problem, right? This is a small guy. He gets to the NFL, takes hits like that. Yeah, if he's going to get hurt every time he gets hit like that, you have a big problem. This guy's sub 200 pounds. It's not just the fact that he's short. It's the fact that he's small. So I look at Bryce Young and I don't really get it. Yeah, he's a good player in college football. And if you allowed him to play flag football in the NFL, he would probably be really good. He would. But he doesn't play flag football. He plays football, tackle football. And it seems to me that he's just going to be an injury risk in the NFL. Like Tua, but quite possibly worse. And number 10 is Penix. He didn't impress me that much against UCLA, but he did fight back at the end. He made a couple really bad decisions, and it got to the point where they basically took the car keys away from him. He was a handoff machine for pretty much a whole quarter, and he just shrunk a little bit in the moment, I think. Still like him, still appealing option in the 4th round or 5th round if he's there, but I definitely would not look to him as a primary option in this draft. All right, that's my top 10. I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Go Hawks.